Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today is the start of my very messy recording schedule week, because as I mentioned in my stream last night, the dice just have not rolled my way this week. So, apologies in advance, this week's going to be very messy. So, let's just hop into the first video of this week, and that is my predictions for the first episode of The Bad Batch, because it's coming out tomorrow. Yeah. Anyways. What's going to happen? A few things, in my opinion. The first of which, we will see the Bad Batch during Order 66. On a mission, because, as I recall, they don't have a Jedi General with them. They're just a lone wolf squad, like the Delta Squad Commandos back in the old Republic Commando games. So, I think they're going to be not really actively taking part in Order 66 because they're on a mission. And of course, to execute Order 66, they would need to go find a Jedi specially, which would mean abandoning their mission. At which point the Bad Batch would probably say, but we got a thing to do here. Let's do this thing first, then do that. And then by the time they finish their mission, it's over? Cool. So, I think they'll pretty much skip Order 66, which will be an interesting one to see. At which point, I think they might head back to Coruscant, because we do see the scene in the trailer with all the clones standing in front of a hologram of the Emperor, stating, you know, that the Republic is gone, the Empire is here. And I think after that, we'll head back to Kamino for the Bad Batch's debriefing on what's happened since they've been on that mission, of course, meaning Order 66, the eradication of the Jedi Order, and the rise of the Empire, and the fall of the Republic. So, that's going to be one hell of a debriefing. I'm going to guess that that's going to come from Tarkin, because he has been seen on Kamino in the show, well, in the trailers, so I think we're going to see a lot of him this series, which is going to be epic. I also think, during this episode, we will meet Omega, who is the mystery clone, be it of Palpatine, be it of Jango Fett, because we have a piece of evidence for both. One, she has the Palpatine blonde hair in the exact style. However, in Jango Fett's favour, she has a New Zealand accent. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to go. Yeah, that's going to be fun. So I'm not sure who Omega's meant to be a clone of. I know she's a clone. That I can tell. But I just don't know if she's a Palpatine or a Fett. Or hell. Crazy, crazy, crazy theory. She could be both. She might be a mixture of Palpatine's DNA and Jango Fett's. Because think about it. A Force-sensitive clone could be very dangerous to Jedi. Because, of course, Order 66 has happened. That could be an interesting one, but of course we know that Omega will betray the Empire at some point during this show and join the Bad Batch in their little escapade around the galaxy, doing stuff. I'm not quite sure what their deal is yet once they abandon the Empire, and I'm sure that'll happen pretty early on in the show, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, main predictions for this episode, we'll see the Bad Batch during Order 66, we'll see how they basically weren't able to do it. Then they'll head back to Coruscant for the announcement from the Emperor. Then they'll head back to Kamino from Coruscant to receive their debriefing from Tarkin. We might see some Kaminoans like Nala Se again, maybe. We'll meet Omega. We'll see how they interact with the clones now, because they're not the clones they remember from before Order 66. I'm sorry, they're completely different people now. Like, in that last episode of the the last episode and a half of the Clone Wars, those guys weren't clone troopers anymore. They were stormtroopers. As much as I hate to say it, those guys weren't the clones we grew up with and loved. They are now Imperial stormtroopers through and through. And I can't wait to see how the Bad Batch, who are probably still the clones we know and love, interact with the new clones, the stormtroopers. And coming off of that, I think they might actually gain the name Stormtroopers in this show at some point, because, like, I know they're still clones at this point, but, of course, the Empire will want to ditch as much as they can from the Republic. So they might not call them clone troopers anymore. And I think they might gain the title of stormtroopers, which will be pretty cool to see, honestly, because, again, these guys ain't clones anymore. Like, they are still biologically clones, but they're not the clone troopers anymore, as much as I hate to say it. They are stormtroopers, and that's that. So, that is my predictions for this first ever episode of The Bad Batch, and potentially the first of many. Because I've said this before, but there's supposedly 14 episodes as of now. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video, guys. So as always, people, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to mine and Roxo's YouTube channels. Her link is down in the link tree in the description. My sub button is down there, yep, that big red one, unless you've already subscribed, then it's grey, like this. Thanks for that, by the way. Don't forget to comment as well, because why not? And let me know what your predictions are for this first episode of The Bad Batch, and if you're excited for it as I am. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Stereo, and Roxanne and her blog. Those links are also down the link tree in the description. And lastly, of course, don't forget to share this video with all of your friends, so they can join the infinite loop of liking, subscribing, commenting, following, and sharing, and around and around and around that loop. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Goodbye.